Do you swap or do you stay stock? What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Guitar Gear Trader channel. I'm Steve, coming at you as always from Nashville, Tennessee. Thank you for being with me tonight. It is late on a Friday night. I am going to be up in a few hours, getting on a plane, traveling to New York City so that I can go watch one of my favorite bands of all time, Oasis, on their reunion tour. I think this is the last part of the leg of the U.S. tour. So I don't know if they're done. I don't know if this is the last bit of shows that they have, and they're done after this New York show, because I know they did all the England stuff, and then they went to Canada, and then they went to LA and Chicago, and now New York. I think that's it for the North American tour. But I am very, very excited to go up to New York to see all my buddies. All my friends are still up there, and to hang out with them and to see one of my favorite bands finally get back together after a long time. We saw them, the same group of friends that I'm going with. We saw Oasis back at Madison Square Garden in the early 2000s, and they were unbelievable. Then Jet opened up for them, that a band that I really love. I love Jet, and they never really made it as big as I thought they could have. But they opened up for Oasis last time I saw them, and they were awesome. But that's not what we're talking about today. That's just me bragging that I'm getting to go to see Oasis. But today we want to talk about modifications to guitars. Do you stay stock? Do you swap parts in and out? Me personally, I was always, up until recently, a very traditional kind of guitar player that did not like to mess with what came stock on guitars. I always felt like, well, Gibson's making this guitar. They're going to put the pickups that they think are the best for this guitar in this guitar. So why would I go and change it and swap things in and out? Also, another big part of why I didn't swap parts in and out is because I'm a collector and a trader. And when you trade guitars, people don't like to see replaced parts. I know I don't, as a collector, if I'm looking, or a trader, if I'm looking at Facebook Marketplace, or if I'm looking at Craigslist, or if I'm looking at Reverb, and I see that pickups have been swapped out for different pickups, or tuners have been swapped out, or wiring harnesses have been swapped out, a part of me doesn't even want to look at that item anymore. And that might be a silly thing to do. It might be stupid. But as a collector, you want things to be as original as possible. Now that I'm a bit older and I've played a lot of vintage guitars have been all original, and not all of them are great. And I've played a lot of really cool looking guitars that had not great sound that I've gotten rid of, that I wish I didn't, because they were amazing looking and feeling and playing guitars, but you plug them in and they don't sound the way you want them to. And I've also gotten rid of guitars that sounded amazing and sounded unbelievable, but not necessarily the look that I wanted. And I wish I could have the best of both worlds. So a lot of you know that I'm a big fan of Gibson Firebirds. You can even see that by the hat that I have on. I'm a big fan of Gibson Firebirds, and I've had a lot of trouble finding a Firebird that I really like and that I really take to. I have a Gibson Firebird Studio from the early 2000s. If you've seen my shows, there's a whole bunch of episodes that I talk about Firebirds, but one in particular was a Firebird that I got for a gift when I was in college. I did a whole episode on that Firebird. You can check that out. It's called The One That Got Away. I ended up trading it and getting it back later on in my life, which is amazing. And that guitar, it's a big, thick, heavy, solid piece of mahogany with humbuckers in it. It sounds really good, but it's really thick and very dark sounding guitar, and it's really good for like my songs that I do in E flat, like the kind of heavier, I don't want to say metal, but heavier rock kind of songs. But it's not great for standard tuning kind of classic rock or even hard rock songs. It's a little too dark and lacks a lot of top end. So I've always thought about changing the pickups in it and this and that, but I never did. And then I've bought regular Firebirds, Firebird 3s, Firebird 5s. I haven't gotten myself a Firebird 7 yet, but I've always gotten these Firebirds and I've never really taken to them because the pickups are just so hot and so ice picky, and it's just not my sound. Someone else could be playing them and they could sound amazing and great. I play them and it just doesn't fit the style that I play with these Firebird pickups. So I recently within a year or two, I bought from the Gibson demo shop a non-reverse 1964 reissue Firebird. And like I said, I love Firebirds, but I really love non-reverse Firebirds. And one of the guitar players in Oasis, his name is Gem, and Gem Archer is his name. He plays lots of Firebirds, and there was one Firebird that I watched him play back in like '04 that I was like, dude, I need that guitar. And I don't know what year it is. It looks like it's vintage. It looks like it's from the 60s, but it's a non-reverse Firebird. It's cherry like an SG, and he put 2 humbuckers in it. Now, those guitars did not come with humbuckers. If you look at 1964 Firebirds, either reverse or non-reverse, they either come with Firebird pickups, which look like a mini humbucker, but they're actually not. They're actually called Firebird pickups. Or they come with soap bar P90s. And the mini humbuckers or the Firebird pickups, those are the ones that tend to sound really ice picky, kind of like a Telecaster almost, but a little bit more high end. Kind of hurts your ears if you play them too loud or too much gain, things like that. A little too thin as well for my liking, for the music that I'm playing. So I always wanted to get my hands on one that had P90s, but the one that I bought had the Firebird pickups in it. I got it for an amazing price from the Gibson demo shop. On Reverb. No paid promotion here. They're not paying me to say that. It's just where I got it from. It was an amazing price for this guitar. This guitar retails for like over $4,000. I got it for $3,000 flat because I sent them an offer and they accepted it. And the guitar really plays nice. It feels great in my hands. It plays wonderful. But I just couldn't get it to sound the way I wanted it to through my amps without having to alter the amps too much. So in my band, I play with basically 2 guitars, maybe a third for a weird like open E tuning. But for the most part, I have a standard tuned guitar and I have an E flat guitar. The majority of the set that we play is going to be in standard tuning, and that's going to be my R9 that's right on that wall right there. Nothing sounds better than that guitar in my collection. And that's all stock with custom bunker pickups in it. And I got that from the demo shop too, and it's the best thing that I've ever played, and I'm not changing anything about that guitar. My E-flat guitar, that's the thing that was kind of up in the air. I have a lot of options, as you can see, and I want to play something that looks cool. I want to play something that I really enjoy playing. I want to play something that sounds like I want it to sound. So currently I have a PRS Tremonti. I'll actually grab it for you. So this guitar was owned by the rhythm guitarist in Candlebox, which was, or still is, it's a great little 90s alternative rock band. They had a whole bunch of hits, and not the original rhythm guitarist, but the guy who's touring with them now, his name is Island Styles. This was his guitar, and I actually got this on Reverb for a crazy good price, right? Crazy good price, and that's because it's kind of beat up. It's worn in. Okay, right over there. He did some modifications to this, so like these 2 knobs are the only knobs that function. He disabled these, which is absolutely fine with me. But this was a guitar that I'm going to bring out, and this guitar sounds great. The only thing about this guitar is that currently I have the tremolo blocked. I put some wood underneath the tremolo so that I can drop C sharp this whenever we play something that's in drop D or drop C sharp. And sometimes when I do that, the action is so low because of the way I have the trem kind of locked up that I get a lot of buzzing sometimes. Now, that's an easy fix, right? I can take this in to a luthier or a guitar shop. I'm in Nashville. They're everywhere, and they're all great. I can have this thing set up to play perfectly, not a problem. However, I do have other options, right? And I really like this Firebird that I bought, that I got a great deal on, but I don't want it just sitting on the wall collecting dust. And actually, it's gotten to the point where, like, I'm on Facebook scrolling, and I wanted to get to the point where I didn't have any guitars that I wanted to trade. I wanted every guitar that I had, I wanted to hold on to. But I got to this point where I'm like, I'm never playing this thing. It doesn't sound the way I want it to sound. Why don't I just trade it for something that, that might sound better? And that's a typical thing that I would have done in the past. But I was like, you know what? That's not what's going to happen this time. I'm going to do something about this. So I picked up the guitar. So here's the guitar. I'm not going to flip it around just yet because I don't want to show you. I don't want to spoil the party yet. But this guitar had the Firebird pickups in it that were just a little too ice picky. So I have a local luthier here in Spring Hill, Tennessee, where I live, which is about 30 minutes south of Nashville, downtown Nashville. And they hand make beautiful instruments. Everything is made here in shop. They carve the wood, they route the bodies, they carve the necks, they carve the fretboards, they wind their own pickups. And they make, a lot of their models are like Strat copies or Telecaster copies. They actually have a Firebird copy, but with a bolt-on neck. They have like P-bass copies, things like that, but they're all handmade here in Spring Hill, Tennessee, and they're called Bluesman Vintage. Wonderful, wonderful people. Small shop. You go in there, you feel like family. You go in there, you smell the nitrocellulose lacquer in the building. You can go in and tour the back of the shop. They'll bring you in there in the back and show you everything. Their little kids are running around the shop. It's a great little place. It really, really is. And I was like, you know what? I want to do something with these guys. I want to do something, stay local, want to give, support to a local company, local business. So I brought the guitar in there, and I was like, hey man, I really would love to see how this would sound with some Soap Bar P90 pickups in it instead of the Firebird pickups. And I really love the guitar, but I just can't get it to sound the way I want. And I have another guitar. Let's see, right there. That's a Les Paul Special from the 70s, 77 Les Paul Special with Soap Bar P90s, and it sounds killer. It sounds absolutely killer. So I know I like Soap Bar P90s. So I bring it in there, and the only problem I had is that the pick guard, the original pick guard, is routed or cut for the Firebird pickups. They're not cut for Soap Bars, which are significantly bigger pickups. So I didn't want to mess with it because that was my first thought. My first thought was, let me go buy some Gibson stock Soap Bar P90s. I'll pop them in here because the guitar is actually routed for either the Firebird pickup or the Soap Bar P90. You can put both of those right into this guitar, no problem, as far as the routing of the body of the guitar goes. But the pickguard wouldn't have matched up. And I tried cutting a pickguard once for a Flying V that I had, and I just ruined it. I destroyed it. So I didn't want that to happen again. So I bring it to him. He's like, yeah, the only thing that would be difficult would be the pickguard. He goes, why don't I just make you a new pickguard? And that way, if you ever want to sell it, you have the original pickguard, you have the original pickups, it'll all fit back together the way it's supposed to, and Bob's your uncle. So I was like, oh, cool, I didn't even know you guys made your own pickups. He goes, yeah, we have a machine, we can make any style pickup you want. So it was really reasonably priced. Charged me like $125 for the custom pickup. Charged me $225 for the set charged me $125 for the pickguard. He charged me $225 for the pickups, which he hand wound for me. They weren't just like in the drawer. He actually had to wind these for me and make them for me, which was amazing. And he called me the other day, and it took about 3 weeks to get it back. And here she is. So this is my non-reverse 1964 reissue Gibson Firebird custom shop. And it's got a pair of amazing Soap Bar P90s in it. I absolutely love the way this sounds. And it's tuned to E flat, so if it sounds a little funny, that's why. But This bridge pickup, I'm never coming off that bridge pickup. I don't care. It's never coming off there. I don't even need that switch. You can disable that switch. But look at that pick guard. That pick guard is perfect, right? All I need to do is maybe get a little Firebird sticker. Or maybe what I should do, maybe I should put a Guitar Gear Trader sticker on there. What do you think? I still have the real Gibson Firebird pick guard. It's in the case. So what do you guys think? I think that might look cool if I put the Guitar Gear Trader sticker there. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I'm seriously thinking. I can always take it off, right? It's just glue. Get some WD-40. It'll come right off. But they also put the little strap button over here because normally it comes right here. And it's terrible. I can't play it there. It hangs too low. And I'm too old for that. So I have to have the guitar up a little higher so I can get my hands into the position I need to get them in. But I just want to give them a big shout out because this is now an amazing guitar that I want to play. It inspires me to play. I want to take it off the wall. So we have our first gig in a week from tomorrow, and I've done nothing but rehearse with that PRS, and we were supposed to have one more rehearsal, and I was going to bring the Firebird and see how the Firebird sounded in rehearsal, but then one of the guys in the band can't rehearse this week, so we're just going to go right to the gig in a week from today, or a week from tomorrow. And I don't know if I should risk bringing a guitar that I have never played with the band before for our first gig. So I'm probably not going to take that out just yet. I'm probably going to hold off on that Firebird till I get to rehearse with the guys at least once. And I'll bring the PRS. Sounds incredible. But the thing that's really nice about it is the PRS is a super, super high gain pickups, where the Firebird's a little bit less gainy. So to me, it sounds more clear. Like the notes sound a lot clearer because they're not so gained up and so distorted as the PRS. The thing with the PRS is the sustain on that guitar is unbelievable. I have like 2 or 3 solos in the set, and I do one solo for Say It Ain't So by Weezer, and that last note of that solo just rings out on the record forever, and that PRS can hold that note until I let it go, which is unbelievable. No other guitar I have. I've played every one of these guitars. I've plugged in and tried to do the solo to see which one sounds better, and nothing really comes close to holding that sustained note at the end than that PRS. But thanks for listening. Tell me what you guys do, right? Do you guys swap out pickups all the time? This is really the first time I've swapped out pickups. I had a Flying V back in the day. I've told this story 100 times about a Flying V that I had that kind of got lost, but I had the pickups for it. It was one of my favorite guitars. Sounded amazing. And I took all the hardware off. I wanted to get it painted, and something happened to it and the guitar got lost. But I had the pickups. So I got other Flying Vs, and I put those pickups into those Flying Vs, but they were stock Gibson pickups. So I never felt like I was really changing anything or modifying anything. I was just putting a stock good Gibson pickup that I knew sounded good into a Gibson guitar, into the same model. But this is really the first time I've modified something with what I think is an upgraded part that's not, Gibson or not of the brand. So tell me in the comments, because I know Augustin, who is one of my fans and one of the watchers of the show, one of the contributors to the Instagrams all the time. He sends me pics back and forth, and he just got himself a really sweet Telecaster custom. Let's see if I can bring it up and show you a picture of it. He's in my DMs. Let's see here. He's got a really cool custom shop Tele. And he had texted me on Instagram and said, he's like, yeah, I got these pickups. I'm going to put them in this custom shop. And I'm like, you're going to just get a custom shop and just immediately take the pickups out? Like he bought the pickups before he bought the guitar. And he's like, yeah, well, the pickups are already changed out, and the readings on them are crazy off the charts hot. He's like, so I have these other pickups that I'm gonna put in them. And he just picked up the guitar today. He actually just texted me and told me he got the guitar today. So I can't wait to see and hear what that sounds like on his Instagram page. So thanks, Augustine, for that. I appreciate you always and enjoy talking to you guys. So with that said, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below, share the video with people that you might think would like the videos, and follow me on Instagram at Guitar Gear Trader, and we can talk together and exchange pictures of guitars and talk about pickups and things like that. So until next time, I'm gonna get on a plane in a couple hours. I'm gonna go see Oasis. It's gonna be a great time. You're gonna see some pictures, some videos on my Instagram, so check that out. So have a great weekend, everybody. Have a good Labor Day. Peace out.